911, where is your emergency?
My neighbor just came up to my door and just passed out, and I can't get her to wake up. She just started screaming that her kids are dying.
Describing a scene of chaos inside a nearby home. Police officers and paramedics rushed to the address, unaware of the horror waiting for them behind the doors. As they entered, they discovered two young boys, 6-year-old Morris and 9-year-old Jaden, lying on a bed, both gravely injured with multiple gunshot wounds and struggling to breathe. The bedroom was a mess, with trash and clothes scattered across blood-soaked sheets. For spent shell casings on the floor suggested the children were attacked while sleeping. Hidden beneath the pillows was a handgun, and with no sign of forced entry, suspicion turned almost instantly toward the children's 32-year-old mother, Tiffany Lucas. Neighbors recalled seeing Tiffany moments earlier, wandering aimlessly before collapsing in a nearby yard, prompting the original 911 call. When officers found her, she appeared disoriented, soaked in urine, and strangely calm for someone whose children had just been brutally shot. Her lack of panic unsettled police, and she was quickly detained outside the house. As she was placed in a cruiser, her vacant stare and odd demeanor raised chilling questions about what really happened inside that home. Detectives canvassed the neighborhood for witnesses, and one man stepped forward, claiming Tiffany had behaved strangely the night before.
So yesterday, maybe it was about 3:15.
According to him, she seemed paranoid, incoherent, and unstable. Investigators now faced two possibilities. Either Tiffany had suffered a severe mental break that led her to attack her children, or someone had influenced her into carrying out the shooting. That second theory seemed unlikely, but would later resurface in a bizarre twist. At the police station, Tiffany's behavior only grew more troubling. During a routine scan, she suddenly claimed she had been shot in the head, though no injury was found. Detectives recognized this as a red flag. Her words hinted at delusion, yet also at possible guilt. With no evidence of a break-in, her neighbors reporting strange behavior, and her own cryptic admission about trying to shoot herself, suspicion solidified that Tiffany herself had fired the gun. Still, investigators needed a clear confession, a motive, and to determine if anyone else was involved. Digging into her past, they learned that Tiffany had once been a small business owner, but went bankrupt in 2017. She lost custody of her children in 2018 due to drug use, and in 2019 her husband was murdered in an unsolved case. Her background painted a picture of instability, addiction, and trauma. When the formal interview began, detectives found Tiffany disturbingly indifferent about her children's condition, never once asking how they were. Instead, she rambled about being controlled by technology and claimed she was targeted by unseen forces. In a shocking moment, she introduced a man's name, Parker Borders. According to her, Parker had manipulated her, supplied the weapon, and orchestrated the attack. Investigators entertained her story briefly, but checks revealed no trace of Parker Borders. The claims were almost certainly delusions created by her fractured mental state. When pressed further, Tiffany first denied firing the gun, then shifted, saying the shooting was an accident. But she refused to elaborate, leaving detectives frustrated and uncertain about her true motives.
Accident. I would hope so.
Kids, huh?
Forensic analysis soon cut through the confusion. Her fingerprints were the only ones on the weapon, confirming she alone handled it. No evidence supported her stories about Parker or any external conspiracies. Detectives then learned Tiffany had struggled with opioid addiction for nearly a decade. It began after dental surgery, when she was prescribed painkillers and spiraled into fentanyl abuse. Recently, she had attempted to quit cold turkey, and withdrawal likely fueled her paranoia and hallucinations. In her distorted mind, she believed her children were in danger from a trafficking ring, and in a twisted attempt to protect them, she pulled the trigger. She even tried to shoot herself afterward, but the gun jammed, explaining her earlier strange claim about being shot. Tragically, despite the best efforts of doctors, both Morris and Jaden died from their injuries. Tiffany was never tied to her husband's past murder, which remains unsolved. Ultimately, investigators concluded she alone was responsible for the killings. On November 22, 2024, Tiffany Lucas pled guilty to murdering her 2 children. She was sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms, with a possibility of parole in 2043. This heartbreaking case highlights how untreated addiction and mental illness can spiral into unimaginable violence.